Welcome. Today is Wednesday, March 25th. I'm Taylor Herforth.
And I'm Lucas Cortez.
And this is the Sheridan Sun.
The Oakville Beaver and Burlington Post are bringing back their print editions. After over 2 years of hiatus, free monthly print editions of the local papers are coming back. The Beaver's first print edition will come out on April 1st, and the Post's first print edition comes out today. Over the decade, many local papers have struggled financially. In 2023, the parent company of both papers, Metroland, sought bankruptcy protection and ended its print edition. Now with its return, local residents are excited to have the paper in their hands.
The City of Toronto is recalculating its flood model for the Black Creek area after concerns about a $295 million relief plan. An independent engineer says the current design may offer little to no benefit to up to 90% of residents in the flood-prone neighborhood. The project aims to reduce repeated flooding in the area of Rockcliffe, Smith, but questions over inaccurate modeling have raised doubts. City officials say reviewing the model was always part of the process and maintain the plan will improve conditions.
The City of Hamilton has been fined $600,000 for leaking sewage into Hamilton Harbor for 26 years. The hole is suspected to have been made by road construction in 1996. The sewage has been leaking into a storm sewer which led out into the Hamilton Harbor. The city said that the drinking water of Hamilton residents has not been affected, and a vacuum trick has been set up as a temporary solution to stop the flow of sewage into the environment.
And now for a quick look at the weather. How's it looking, Phoebe?
Right outside our studio, it is currently sunny with a few clouds here and there. Today we have had a high of +6 degrees. The UV index is at a comfortable 4. The conditions are overall agreeable. The winds are so mild that they're not even worth mentioning. A change of pace from this past week. More clouds will appear tonight, giving us a 40% chance of showers this evening and continuing past midnight. Our day's lowest is +3 degrees. Periods of rain will carry on into Thursday, where it remains cloudy. It will be a high of 11 degrees. The rain is set to continue throughout all of tomorrow. That's a quick look at the weather. I'll see you later in the show for our 5-day forecast. For now, let's head back to the desk.
Halton police have made 4 arrests and laid dozens of charges after a home invasion in Oakville. Early in the morning of February 24th, 3 people in masks broke into a home in northern Oakville, one armed with a hammer. They were confronted by a woman who was forced into a closet. Though she suffered no physical injuries, since then 4 people have been arrested in connection with the crime. In the investigation, police have also seized several firearms, a large amount of illicit drugs, a stolen Honda CR-V, and tens of thousands in designer clothes stolen during the home invasion.
The city, Humber College, is starting layoffs after too few employees accepted voluntary bio offers. President Anne-Marie Vaughn says the program did not close a projected budget cap for the 26-27 school year. Staff had about 2 weeks to accept packages worth up to 45 weeks of pay, plus a bonus. Layoffs have already been completed for administrative staff, with faculty and support staff next. The college city's financial pressure from the federal cap on international students. 3 senior executives have also taken voluntary exit packages.
Toronto police have created a new counter-terrorism security unit. Toronto police say the unit has been created in response to rising tensions around the world and recent incidents of gunfire at the exteriors of local synagogues and the U.S. consulate. The new task force Guardian, will be deployed to near tourist attractions and places of worship as a proactive deterrent. The unit will be armed with semi-automatic weapons, body armor, and helmets.
Premier Doug Ford says the provincial and federal governments plan to temporarily expand the HST rebate for new homes, allowing all buyers a rebate of up to $130,000. The HST rebate on new homes was previously available only to first-time home buyers, but for 1 year, the province is proposing that the offer be extended to all buyers in the province.
Alto is seeking access to private lands for a proposed high-speed rail line between Toronto and Quebec City. The next phase will study soil, water, and wildlife along possible routes. Office officials say access does not mean land will be bought, and owners can refuse or be compensated. The company adds that these studies are critical before finalizing any route decisions. The proposed train could reach up to 300 kilometers per hour. With an Ottawa-Montreal route first, construction could begin as early as 2029.
Oakville's Canada Day celebrations could be held at Sheridan College this year. Nick Grant has a story.
The city of Oakville has decided to move locations for its Canada Day celebrations. While traditionally hosted at Bronte Heritage Waterfront Park, the city has changed it, citing safety concerns. And one of the candidates is Sheridan College.
The annual Oakville Canada Day celebration is a popular event, with crowds sometimes numbering in the tens of thousands. Sheridan College had been identified by town staff as an ideal location for the event, citing it as a good location that accommodates public transit and the space required for fireworks displays and a potential drone show.
Right here behind me is where the celebrations would take place if we're at Sheridan College. It's perfect for an event like this. It's flat and even ground, it's spacious, and only a few minute drive from the Oakville GO station.
I like it. I think more stuff should be hosted here. I think it's a good opportunity to get like the students and the public engaged in stuff because it's a big hub for all sorts of people, as well as it can help get the school some more funding if people come and spend money here. And
the town of Oakville got back to us saying, quote, Canada Day is an important community event for the town, celebrating Canadian culture, community spirit, and local partnerships. Sheridan College is being considered as a possible location because it offers the space and transit access needed to support a welcoming event for residents. There's a council meeting on March 30th to discuss this idea further.
This is Nicholas Grant from the Sheridan Sun.
Thank you, Nick. On Sunday night, an Air Canada plane collided with a fire truck while landing at LaGuardia Airport, killing both pilots. The latest updates after the break. Investigations are ongoing after an Air Canada plane crashed into a fire truck at the LaGuardia Airport in New York. 2 are dead and dozens are injured. The collision appears to have happened after air traffic control approved both the plane and truck to enter the runway. The head of the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board urged against assigning blame. She stated the air traffic control system is old and in need of an upgrade, and that air traffic controllers have long raised concerns over understaffing and poor working conditions.
The head of the union representing 550,000 Canada Post workers is calling for employees to reject a tentative contract agreement in a vote this spring. A newsletter published by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers Tuesday outlined the deal and said 60% of the National Executive Board are recommending workers vote in favor of it. But the national president of the Union of Postal Workers and 4 other members of its leadership issued a minority report disagreeing, arguing the deal abandons most of what the union membership wanted to see in a contract.
Voters in Terrebonne will be using write-in ballots for next month's by-election due to the large number of candidates. The number of candidates running, 48 in total, is attributed to the Longest Ballot Committee, a Canadian activist movement known for rallying dozens of independent candidates to flood ballots to protest the electoral system.
The Nova Scotia Energy Board has approved a rate increase for Nova Scotia Power, but not as high as the company requested. The utility has proposed an 8.1% hike over 2026 and 2027, but regulators ordered cutbacks to its projected revenue. The board says the final increase will be slightly lower, though an exact figure has not been released. Nova Scotia Power must now revise its application and submit updated rates. Officials acknowledge rising electricity costs are difficult for many, but say affordability measures fall outside their authority.
Canada is strongly condemning Israel's plan to occupy southern Lebanon, warning that the country's sovereignty must not be violated. The statement comes as Israeli forces prepare for a major ground invasion, reportedly aiming to push up to 30 kilometers inside Lebanese territory. Meanwhile, the humanitarian toll continues to rise, with more than 1,000 people killed and nearly 3,000 injured in Lebanon since the start of the month. Global Affairs Canada is planning major workforce cuts, including layoffs to some of its most experienced diplomats. The union, representing foreign service officers, says dozens of high-skilled positions are being eliminated as part of federal budget reductions. The department aims to cut more than 1,200 jobs by 2029, about 9% of its workforce. Critics warn the cuts could weaken Canada's global influence during a time of rising geopolitical tension. The federal government has not yet responded to requests for comment.
Iran has rejected the United States' latest ceasefire proposal. The proposal asked for concessions including shipping access through the Strait of Hormuz and a rollback of Iran's nuclear program. Meanwhile, the Pentagon has ordered about 2,000 troops from the 82nd Airborne Division to move into the Middle East. The buildup of troops signals the potential for dramatic escalation.
More drone strikes hit Ukraine as fighting with Russia intensifies. Ukraine's air forces say early Monday that 121 drones entered its airspace. While it shot down or jammed most of the drones, 2 struck energy sites near the Sheridan region, cutting power to about 212,000 people. Nearby Kiev region's Slavuchik saw brief outages. Later, a rare daytime wave used 506 drones, with 501 stopped. Daytime attacks remain uncommon, though strikes continue near daily, averaging roughly 150 to 200 launches.
OpenAI has made the decision to shut down its app Sora, and in doing so has ended its $1 billion deal with Disney. Manal has a story.
OpenAI's shutdown of its generative AI app Sora has reignited conversations around artificial intelligence and what it means for the future. In a statement released yesterday, the Sora team stated, "To everyone who created with Sora, shared it, and built community around it, thank you. What you made with Sora mattered, and we know this news is disappointing." Walt Disney has decided to emphasize the protection of intellectual property and creative rights, and is pushing for stronger safeguards. They said, "We will continue to engage with AI platforms to find new ways to meet fans where they are while responsibly embracing new technologies that respect IP and the rights of creators." OpenAI claims it has always been committed to the safety measures required to prevent misuse. Misuse like we saw earlier this week surrounding the accident at New York's LaGuardia Airport. AI-generated footage began circulating online of responders climbing the plane after the crash, appearing realistic enough to confuse viewers. For students entering the media industry, that reality is shaping how they think about their future.
And it's concerning in that sense that it's just replacing actual people that have passion for the jobs. So,
As AI continues to evolve, the question isn't just what can it create, but the consequences that come with it.
If someone misuse it, that's a disaster. And the misuse itself could be so many subcategories of that. The misuse for criminal use reasons, for so many reasons.
As AI continues to evolve, so do questions about what can and can't be trusted. I'm Manal Qureshi for the Sheridan Sun.
Thank you, Manal. A historic moment today for the Church of England. Sarah Mullally, a former cancer nurse, has officially been installed as the first woman to serve as Archbishop of Canterbury. The ceremony took place earlier today, marking a major step forward for gender equality within the Church. Mullally says she is honored and committed to leading with compassion and inclusivity. Her appointment is being celebrated as a symbol of change in religious leadership.
A new Netflix show is coming out tomorrow called Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. But for an Oakville local, this premiere is actually something very good. That story up next. We are skipping a lot of stuff. And now, Shanice Johnson has the latest scoop in entertainment news. Over to you, Shanice.
An Oakville local is starring in a new Netflix show premiering tomorrow. Oakville-born actor Adam DeMarco, known for his roles in the White Lotus and Overcompensating, is starring in his newest show called Something Bad Is Going to Happen. The series is produced by Stranger Things creators, the Duffer Brothers, and follows a couple whose happily ever after turns into a living hell from supernatural occurrences. Alongside DeMarco stars Camilla Morone and Jennifer Jason Leigh. UK actor Riz Ahmed is the creator and lead in his newest show, Bait, streaming now on Amazon Prime. The comedy series follows a struggling actor going through a life crisis after auditioning for a role of a lifetime, being the next James Bond. Ahmed's character then goes on a spiral for feeling like not good enough actor, son, brother, and partner in life. The 6-episode satire currently has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The Housemaid film is getting a sequel with Kirsten Dunst joining the cast alongside Sydney Sweeney. The Housemaid's Secret will be based on the second novel by Frida McFadden and will follow Sweeney's character, Millie Colloway, as she becomes a live-in housemaid for another rich couple who, of course, becomes oddly suspicious. The first film was a breakout for Lionsgate, earning around $400 million at the box office in 2025. And another one bites the dust on the 500th episode of NCIS, but it wasn't a character fans were expecting. Director Leon Vance, played by actor Rocky Carroll, was killed off on Tuesday night's episode, starring in 18 seasons of the hit show. Director Vance was faced in a standoff and dies by gunshot wound trying to save the agency. However, there are hints that this won't be the last time we see Carroll's character on the show, as he explained in a recent interview that ghost stars is a common thing for the show to cameo characters from the past. Late show host Stephen Colbert is onto his next big gig as he leads up to the final show coming up in May. He is set to co-write the newest Lord of the Rings film alongside screenwriters Philippa Boyens and Colbert's son, Peter McGee. Colbert confirmed the film will be based on chapters 3 to 8 of Fellowship of the Ring, which didn't appear in the original film trilogy. Colbert is a Lord of the Rings mega fan, even hosting Comic-Con panels for the series and the Hobbit film back in 2014. The film is currently titled Shadow of the Past. The acclaimed 2004 film 13 Going on 30 is coming back to our TV screens in the near future as a Netflix reboot. Jennifer Garner is returning to the project, but not as a lead star, but as an executive producer. Emily Bader, who is known for her role in the Netflix film People We Meet on Vacation, will be leading alongside Perks of Being a Wallflower star, Logan Lerman. There is no reports on the plot of the reboot as of right now. Disney released the first look of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Maui in the live-action film Moana. The Rock plays the demigod Maui in the film, and he also voiced the character in the original 2016 animated film. Breakout star Catherine Lagaoi is leading as Moana, a Polynesian teen trying to save her island Te Fiti from a dark force. Moana hits the theaters in July of this year. And it's just the best of both worlds. Airbnb has released that Hannah Montana Malibu house is available to rent, partnering up with Disney following the Hannah Montana 20th year special that premiered on Disney Plus on Tuesday. The real Malibu mansion from the show will be open for 10 one-night stays in April. Guests can book starting on March 26th and experience the nostalgic setups from the iconic Disney show that brought Miley Cyrus to fame. Well, I'm definitely booking my stay right after this. And that's all for today's entertainment news. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna go watch the Hannah Montana special again right now. Back to you, Taylor.
Thanks, Shanice. Have fun with that. Now for the latest in sports news with Maddie Cholette.
Baseball fans, we've made it. Opening day is finally here. MLB officially returns to action tonight when the New York Yankees take on the San Francisco Giants. Following this specialty opening night game, all other MLB teams begin their season when games officially take place on Thursday and Friday. This includes your Toronto Blue Jays, who open their 50th anniversary season at home against the Athletics on Friday night. Jays ace Kevin Gausman will take the bump, with Luis Severino going for the A's. The team is expected to have a pregame ceremony celebrating their memorable 2025 season, where they will raise their American League champs pennant. NCAA's March Madness returns to action on Thursday when the Sweet 16 matchups begin. The first two rounds of games concluded over the weekend with no shortage of exciting moments. Most notably, 9-seed Iowa took down the reigning champion Florida Gators to advance past the round of 32 in a thrilling 73-72 victory. The first 4 Sweet 16 games take place on Thursday and the next 4 on Friday. Winners advance to the Elite 8, which take place immediately after on March 28th and 29th. The championship game is rapidly approaching, scheduled for April 6th. The Toronto Raptors head to LA to take on the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. Toronto still sits at 5th place in the Eastern Conference and is coming off a 143-127 win versus the Utah Jazz on Monday. They'll be looking to build momentum in LA against the Clippers team that currently sits at 8th in the Western Conference with a .500 record at 36-36. Both Brandon Ingram and Emmanuel Quickley are listed as questionable for tonight's matchup due to injuries, with a decision expected closer to game time. It was announced yesterday that the WNBA Board of Governors has ratified the terms for the league's new collective bargaining agreement. Last week, the league and the Players Association announced that they had agreed to terms on a new CBA after a week-long 100-hour negotiating period. These new terms will see more expansion teams added, more games played each year, and as a result, a later end date for the season. Players are set to report to training camp for the WNBA's 30th season on April 19th. Heading over to the NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Boston Bruins in a 4-2 victory last night. After giving up an early goal, the Leafs showed some fight. 2 goals from Matthew Nyes, along with one from Max Domi and William Nylander, led the charge in this one. This win broke a 3-game losing streak for Toronto, who sit in last place amid a lost season. They'll look to build off this momentum when they take on the St. Louis Blues on the road on Saturday. In other hockey news, Connor McDavid scored his 400th career goal in the Oilers' 5-2 win against the Utah Mammoth last night. The goal came in the second period to give the Oilers a lead they wouldn't look back from. McDavid kept the scoring going, notching goal 401 to seal the victory later in the game as well. He's the 115th player in NHL history to reach this milestone and just the 15th active player with 400 goals. McDavid has 40 goals and 78 assists on the season, leading an Oilers team that sits at second in the Pacific Division. That's all our sports news for today. Now let's send it over to Phoebe for the weather forecast.
Thursday morning's rainy skies don't seem to let up, going on to grace the nighttime with its pearly dewdrops. The 40% chance of rain will occur alongside a low of -11 degrees. Rainy periods will eventually pause near midnight, heading into Friday now, which offers us a beautifully sunny skies with a high of +2 degrees. Understand that this is pure, unadulterated sun, presenting the perfect opportunity to fulfill your vitamin D needs. The night skies will be clear with the temperatures dropping down to -11 degrees. Now, of course, what goes up must come down. Saturday has in store a mix of sun and cloud with a 40% chance of flurries. By then, it will be a high of +4 degrees. Don't worry, conditions will clear up as the day progresses. The nighttime is characterized by cloudy periods and a low of -8 degrees. On to Sunday, which seems to embody its name. Look forward to sunny skies and a high of +5 degrees. Conditions are crisp, not too windy or too cold. As it gets darker, the sky will grow cloudier, the temperature dropping down to -1 degree. Monday gives us a calm start to the next week, being cloudy with sunny breaks. Though clouds may be covering the sun at times, the temperature is expected to reach up to 7 degrees. Conditions remain relatively consistent into the evening, only the sky growing cloudier and the temperature dropping down to -5 degrees. Contrary to popular belief, sun protection is still important even when UV levels appear low. This can be in the form of a baseball cap, sunscreen, or sunglasses. That concludes this week's weather. I'll send you back to the desk.
This week, Oakville's town square has been transformed by an interactive art display called Loop. Sakina Gayor has more.
Downtown Oakville is lit up in a whole new way this March. The Experience Loop installation has transformed Town Square into an interactive outdoor exhibit where art, sound, and movement all come together. Running from mid-March through early April, the installation is an interactive activity.
2 people get on and you pump back and forth and you spin the pictures and it makes it look like a movie is playing and it plays music and at nighttime it lights up. So it's meant to bring people downtown Oakville to have a little bit of fun in this kind of are we in spring or not weather.
By turning a lever, participants can activate this large illuminated structure, bringing them to life with music, motion, and light.
So they are Quebec-based illustrators actually. So each of the loops has a different theme of the illustration. And there's a story that goes with each of them. So if you come down, I would encourage you to read about each of them and look at the pictures and see if you can sort of make sense of the description with the pictures.
The installation is part of a broader push to make downtown Oakville a destination for art, culture, and community experiences, especially during these colder months.
This Loop exhibit is on until early April, so you can come and check it out in Oakville Town Square. I'm Sakina Gayor reporting on the Sheridan Sun.
That's our show. I'm your host, Lucas.
And I'm Taylor. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in next week.